or you just let it go through the bans?
Yeah, I think the Tristan is a great pick here. I think that's the one that we'll probably see LGD go for. Just because, I mean, it does really well into all of our meta AD carries, and it gives so much flexibility in the draft as well, because you can't put it mid. You could send it to somewhere else, although for LGD, it would obviously be going for Kramer. But as well, just in those team fights, hey, I want to jump forward, I want to jump back, I want to play assassination, we need to play front to back. It's all there in that one pick for the Tristan.
We'll see now, LGD, they're going to go back onto the Olaf. It is going to be someone else manning it, though. And Uniboy, honestly, I really like this because I feel like you've got someone, you know, kind of pseudo ball delivery system with the Renekton and the Olaf. And I think Uniboy had a very, very good game. This time around, though, we can see Cryin picking up the Lucian, and that could go top or into the mid lane.
I feel like that's for Xiaohu topside. Does pretty well in towards the Renekton. Like, when you get the slice in, you get the relentless pursuit away, and then you're kind of stuck there as a Renekton going, what am I looking for right now? Very easy to chase you down the lane with the Cryin as well. So certainly a strong pick for Xiaohu in that top lane, and one he's very well versed on with the amount of games that he's played, and just slotting into the classic RNG style of playing around topside.
Yep, they're looking to see if they can go back to old ways. Of course, if that Lucian does go up towards topside, we should see way up there quite a bit to, you know, keep this Renekton down, because it goes both ways. If Xiaohu plays it incorrectly and Garvey's able to get ahead, this Renekton becomes unstoppable for a Lucian. Lucian can't do anything about it. He has to play respectfully and back himself up. And now RNG banning away the really obnoxious supports that do very well into Rell.
It's also the, like, certainly for Nautilus, it's like that guaranteed CC, right? Because when you look towards the Renekton, when you look towards the Olaf, you do need something that's going to offer this big engage tool. You've got rid of the flash body slam on the Gragas, but crucially that depth charge from the Nautilus is well gone. So you're probably looking at something like the Leona, maybe here for LGD. Could go something like Xayah Rakan if they really wanted to, especially when you see the Kaisa hover here. But that's kind of the last great engage tools you have available for LGD.
I like this, though, from LGD. They're basically saying, look, we don't want to go against triple ADC. That would be absolute hell right now, and it would just do so much into something like the Renekton. And again, RNG going towards that Kaisa. We can maybe see them look towards either, you know, flexing that Lucian to mid or top, but they still have counter pick for their solo lanes.
Yeah, and they will get counter pick here in the bot side. Kramer, I love the Xayah. I would really appreciate if you went back towards the Xayah. I think you need some sort of self-peel when I see the Rell, perfect. And you compare it here with the Rakan, which I think works perfect here for Chance. Can do very well against the Rell. You've got some great opportunities to have these big engages that can suit very well with Uniboy. And then you can even match the roam potential coming through from Ming on this Rell.
Yep, and honestly, another great ball delivery system. It's something with the old school kind of setups. You pop it on top of the Rakan, not only gives him a little bit of extra health bar with the extra shield, but it also means that you're getting the ball into a very, very solid setup place. And like you mentioned, Xiaohu going to be feeling pretty comfortable taking that Lucian up into the top side. Again, Cryin on MVP Viktor performance. Going to bring back the Viktor into the mid lane.
Yeah, so certainly when I look towards LGD, they have a very clear game plan of play around this bottom side right now. You're able to get these early dragons, use the Olaf to set that up. You should have some support coming through from Uniboy as well. So I think from LGD, they have the tools to be proactive. Just are they willing to be proactive in the early stage this time? Whereas on the opposite side for RNG, I'm assuming Cryin and Xiaohu are going to swap. Assuming. But I'm not certain.
Assuming makes an ass out of you and me, my friend.
Yeah, I mean, I really don't want to be.
That's 20 seconds, so.
Okay.
Viktor in the top side. This is something Xiaohu can do. This is why it's so annoying to kind of deal with it, because even when we're thinking, oh yeah, Viktor into the mid lane, stalling. For all the different people on the chats who are saying, just start the game already. The game's about to be started. Because we control that.
I like the way they, it's like, come on, caster. It's like, dude, I want to watch the game as well.
No, we control it. I just wanted to have a chat with you.
Ah, sorry. I'll stick the kettle on first.
Ah, sure. Cup of tea, no problem at all. We are jumping onto the Rift. LGD versus RNG. Well, could be the final regular season game for both these squads and a final game of spring for LGD. So they want to go home with a bang. Now, pushing it aggressively here. You got to respect the level 1 coming in now from Ming. And even Wei just kind of pushing back Quay, making sure they have full knowledge of everything.
There's only one way this time. Wei's for V5.
Oh,
This
you're
is
right.
The way.
It is the way.
And yeah, as I'm like
Too
you're
many
saying,
ways.
exactly. But all we're looking to do here is RNG is move in, get some vision control down. Try like you will now spot where Olaf is going, and Wei does have the faster clear here on the Udyr. So just spotting out exactly what Quay's plan is will help quite a bit, and you probably will need like Xiaohu to start roaming down from this top side, or even Cryin to try and move across from this mid lane.
Pew pew. Press the attack. And this is going to not be a fun time for Garvey. He's just kind of getting a little taste for what's in store for the crocodile, and he'll be turned into some nice snakeskin boots if he's not too careful.
So Chance, we'll spot out Ming here. So the reason I wanted to see the Rakan here for the bot side of the map is when Rakan uses his grand entrance, the W, the knock-up can disengage from Ming. You can actually get it directly on top of you and stop the engage. Now, obviously, that becomes very difficult when he hits level 6, but certainly makes things a little bit easier in these early stages. And as well, with Quay, we talked about him wanting to play around this bottom side to try and play towards these early dragons. You've got a really strong engage tool in Chance, followed up by Kramer to punish Gala specifically, and then set up for Quay coming into this lane. So, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see a lot of aggressive plays coming through from Kramer and Chance, even though it is Kramer and Chance, so we don't usually see it.
True, but I'm watching this top side, and this Lucian is just putting down the herd. There's nothing Garvey can do. Like, honestly, like, at what stage do you just kind of say, right, I just got to reset and give up the rest of the wave?
I feel sorry for Garvey. This guy comes in, he signs as a top laner for LGD. He gets one game last split as Hecarim into the Shy. And maybe it wasn't Shy, maybe it was Snuggery or Kong. I can't remember. Anyway, one of the really good top laners that we had. And then we come back in towards the into the regular split, and he's an AD carry. Now he comes in, he's in a horrific matchup in the top lane. He already has to burn his TP as well. Like, he was so worried about a dive coming in from Wei that now Garvey burns the TP and is already getting poked in the tower again.
Honestly, he could get dove anyway. Like, that's how far behind he's going to be. You can see there 4 times the amount of CS. Hasn't really put down his ward, now has it, but yes, you have the information that it might be coming, but can you do anything to stop it?
He will have flash, no support here though. Spots Wei.
Oh, they're going to go for it. He's level 3, so you need to be careful here. Yep, I feel like that was a well-tempered move here from RNG, recognizing that with Garvey level 3, he's the stun, the dash, the healing off his Q, a lot of ways he could survive.
It was also Uniboy. Uniboy just recalled in that mid lane, so a bit worried about a TP play towards that top side. But Uniboy's happy, gets the tier, now resets and comes into mid with the Corrupting Pot as well. And looks like LGD, at least with the map movements, will net themselves both of these Scuttle Crabs. Oh no, actually just the bottom side is gone down to RNG side.
Well, they do keep themselves safe and healthy. I think Garvey just kind of said, you know what? I can't do anything. I'm already 20 CS down. I might as well, at bare minimum, keep my jungler going, because he might be able to put down a little bit of extra help. The flash was burned. They put down the stun as well as Wei. Garvey just flashes himself out. They're going to jump down on top of him, and he will take it down. Xiaohu, can he survive? The answer is yes. Flash is burned, and LGD, I like the idea. You tried your very best, but you cannot punish this Lucian right now.
I mean, the stronger 2v2 is always going to RNG side, right? Udyr is obnoxious at these early stages with the amount of CC he provides, the damage off of Phoenix stance as well. And that's not even talking about Xiaohu, who's just flinging shots over his shoulders as well. Garvey and Quay go down 30 CS. Already picked up for Xiaohu versus the 7 of Garvey. And the kill, like, this ain't getting any better anytime soon.
Yeah, this is, it's already a 2,000 gold lead. It's not going to be fun.
I also like that Xiaohu's gone towards those early attack speed boots, because the Berserker Greaves actually do more against towers than the extra AD. The extra shots actually accumulate more, so this is a tower-taking build that Xiaohu is going for, at least eyeing up these tower plates in the early stages.
And he has red buff. He got red buff from Quay,
Chance.
so Chance seeing if he can take a chance on top side. And honestly, this is the kind of situation where I'm like, let a losing lane die. You know, like, you know, is it gonna suck? Absolutely, but find your advantages somewhere else, because there's just nothing you can do to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, look, we said already, LGD win around boss. That was the game plan. That was what you need to do. Garvey!
Ooh, Garvey taking a lot of punishment here. The culling comes out and Chance gets the kill. Not exactly the person you wanted to give it to, but hey, you'll take the kill now and you'll get a little bit of free time now for Garvey to get back some of the CS deficit.
Yeah, he needs to shove in this wave, make sure that it actually bounces back, because if Xiaohu ever gets a freeze off, it is donezo. Quay shadowing mid here, making sure that no dive can come off the big wave and how low Uniboy is, and especially when Ming had roamed out of that bot side. So nice job from Quay to keep his mid lane safe.
Well, Uniboy, they could flash in. Yep, there's the flash. They both have the flash now, but Quay not quite in position, doesn't have a flash of his own, and Wei is up towards that top side of the jungle, so needs to be a bit more respectful of where maybe the Udyr is. But both flashes burnt in the mid lane. You can see now Quay trying to make sure that this one doesn't crash, but Wei already in a way, and this is going to make it very fun to cast team fights.
As you were saying though, like, hey, find your advantages elsewhere, right? So for LGD, we said we wanted to see bot side turn it in towards dragons. Well, Gala and Ming are kind of just outperforming Chance and Kramer. Not overly surprising with how dominant these two guys have been in lane. But the problem is that Dragon has gone towards Wei as well. So RNG stacking and racking these objectives once again. And Kramer...
Oh, needs to be very careful. There's the Pheromancy crash down. It's going to force a flash. Nice double knock up with the flash in tow. You got ignited, your healing's cut down, that means you go down. But again, Xiaohu has died here, so that's 2 deaths here for the Lucian top. And it's kind of the thing you gotta like be careful of. As I say, be careful. Wei slaps the Renekton and goes himself away. But you gotta be careful when you're on such a dominant top laner, because you're always overextended.
Yeah, look, this is just outclassing from RNG. Especially in this bottom side, like, this should not be an advantage that you're able to pick up. And yeah, you can see Xiaohu, he has so much confidence on this top side, but with the collapsing coming in, he definitely needed to back away from that.
He went, once he aggressively E'd in, I was just like, all right, this is done.
Yeah.
He's dead, there's nothing he can do here. And this honestly gives a little bit more wiggle room back to Garvey to kind of get back in. He's not half as far as, behind as he was a few seconds ago. He's got a lot of different movements here if he can kind of go for a Quay, coming back up to this top side as well to make sure that Garvey's able to get that shove in. This lead in topside could be a lot bigger if Xiaohu just kind of played respectfully.
I think that's the big thing though, is like we see this quite a lot, but here we go, bottom side.
There's the flash in by Ming. He's given himself a nice little knock back and a little bit of a stun down. Wei picks that kill up onto Kramer. Nothing else that you can say about it, but with with Wei showing himself down bot lane to kill Kramer, we are going to see the Rift Herald being taken out towards the top side. Do Xiaohu look to try and maybe contest? Maybe not.
No, I think he'll just try and get the poke off, but just needs to be careful. Like, doesn't have his flash, and Garvey was kind of eyeing him up there, but at this stage you need to start moving around the map here as Quay. You need to look towards, hey, setting the boat right down in Kramer and bot side, like trying to see if you can put some more gold into Uniboy, because if you just throw this gold into Garvey, Garvey's just not going to be a factor in this game. There's too much range, there's too much zone control on RNG, and too good of a front line, so this Rift Herald needs to go elsewhere.
You can see there Xiaohu taking a very unfavorable trade into Garvey right there.
Has the culling though.
Has the culling available. Not a lot of mana, so it doesn't really have a huge kill potential until you start stacking that one up. We'll get the level up though, so maybe just pops it straight away to try and dissuade Garvey. But Wei is here, and Wei is trying to go underneath the tower. I do not like this from Wei though, because the minion wave was already taken off. He flashes in, does not get the kill down onto Garvey, and Garvey stays alive.
Just about though, but flash down. We'll have his TP up to get back towards that top side, so won't lose out too much in the grand scheme of things. But flash for flash, and I think it was a little bit of a misclick there from Wei that stopped him from actually getting that stun to get the kill for Xiaohu.
And while that's happening, you see Quay now pushing down with the Rift Herald. It's actually exactly what you wanted to see. They're going to focus on this bot side, get their advantages here, but there is the Magna Storm being popped down straight away. The TP being committed as well. That's just going to kind of protect the tower, I guess. Cryin using that to try and get himself to protect his bot lane, but they don't really gain anything else out of it.
Yeah, a bit of a late play coming through from RNG. Like, the Rift Herald had already been committed, but they're not able to get too much more. I wasn't sure if we'd actually get the TP towards that back ward that you saw just cleared out by Quay instead, and maybe then you can get the zone control to lock them in place. But hey, look, at least it's LGD making moves. This is what we wanted to see. Like, not just sitting back and taking it like they did in the last game, actually getting active in the early stages.
Yeah, it's a bit sad when you're watching like a fight. It's just a guy just with his defense open, just getting absolutely pummeled one after the other, and you're kind of like, God damn it, man, do something. Go down in a blaze of glory. So, like you said, throwing a couple of more digs back the way of RNG, trying to see if they can land maybe a haymaker or two, despite Set not being in
I
this
saw
game.
a lot of people tweeting about like a fight that happened last night, and I was like, yeah, sports me, yeah. I was like, I don't know. I have no idea.
I think it was UFC, I believe,
Yeah.
but I'm not entirely sure. All I know is that people were kind of waiting. Oh, that's so funny. I forgot about the shielding doing that. Chance, though, not really.
He's having none of it.
Having none of it.
"This
It's like,
is
you know
working."
what? You don't get away with this. But that does keep Ming around for this dragon. He did not get a reset, and he's roughly with the same items here. Storm just coming back off of cooldown. Chance going to use the quickness. Shockwave comes down, lands on the 2, but not what you need. Killer Instinct on the backside. Gala now has to back away. There is a good little movement here from Garvey to try and bring health bars low, but they just haven't got the commitment. You can see everyone blinking red. Cryin almost goes down. There it is, but Kramer had to commit everything just to get it. They will lose the dragon, and again, LGD losing the stacks.
Yeah, I mean, RNG were just in a better position to start that off. LGD tried to contest. Garvey gets a really good play, but now Uniboy in trouble.
Oh, he has to flash. The culling would have done enough there, and you can see the power you get with this Lucian, just having so much more XP, so much more solo gold, just gets you so much, further ahead in, your item spikes. And this is kind of what I wanted to see. RNG picking up the pace, just kind of saying, you know what, you stop Ming's back, well, we're going to contest you with Dragon. And honestly, I feel like if they don't stop Ming's back, they get the Dragon uncontested for LGD.
You might have been onto something there, Penguin. And either way, though, look, I can get what LGD are trying to do here, but they're way too split coming into this. Garvey isn't really in a position to get much done here. Also, Chance way too early on the engage, so a lot of misplays coming through on LGD side, and what could have been a really good engage here from Garvey. Look where the rest of LGD are. They're already run from the hills, and it's Kramer who's trying to follow up, and they do get one back on towards Cryin, but it costs more for LGD.
Yeah, I feel like killing Cryin there is not worth giving over 2 kills to the Lucian top, who now has his Gale Force. And yeah, he's going to be a bit of a nuisance as he's 20, or just under 20 CS behind, or ahead, excuse me.
Yeah, so this is where we look towards RNG enacting their game plan. Let's go for Rift Herald. Let's crack open that tower on top side and start to use this Lucian. Now, RNG, though, first things off, have to protect bot side.
Yeah, there's the Magnet Storm. It does lock down Chance, but he will have the extra little bit of range on his W to get himself out. And they get a plate, but you had to burn the flash there from Kramer, so that's not available to you. But there's a 4v3. If LGD want to go for it, they may look to try and get the quickness. There's the flash burn straight away. Shockwave brings way back to the other side, though. Killer Instinct all the way into the backside for Gala as he tries to be better, faster, stronger. He is not. Uniboy takes that kill down. Chaos Storm not enough to kill off Quay. That's a 1 for none, but there's the culling. Is it enough? Is the angle quite there? The Dominus is not enough to keep you alive, and Xiaohu is really starting to feel good in this lane.
That bot lane play was all about the attract and repel. Ming actually wasn't quite able to get the stun on towards Quay, which meant the Gala ends up falling. Now, though, Xiaohu, with those 2 kills that he picked up in the last fight and that Gale Force that we pointed out, he's controlling Garvey in this top side. The plated steel caps aren't enough, and this tower will be taken by Xiaohu.
Xiaohu going to be able to take his prize after getting himself a nice solo kill on the top side. It will increase the gold lead to just about 2,500. And again, you're looking at RNG in control. They're the ones that have the dragon stacking. They're the ones that have the gold lead. And here's the pro view now of Xiaohu just
spamming auto attack the entire time.
Yeah.
But look, this is it. I mean, the culling does so much damage, and just dashing underneath the tower. Still has the Gale Force for the execute and the maneuverability as well. Going to do a heap. Now RNG feeling confident off of Xiaohu taking control. Move over towards this Rift Herald. And we can potentially see this used bot. I think the bigger thing here is for RNG to try and open up this mid lane structure. So then Gala and... then you can get the vision control to allow Xiaohu pressure on the bottom side, really get the deep vision to support any of these long lanes on top as well, and just keep going through this map rotation that RNG play.
seen their way after taking the Rift Scuttler and the Rift Herald, Mama and Child. And taking himself a grump as well. And just going to be a nuisance, honestly. Like, he's a level ahead of Garvey in this top side, so, and he's tanky as hell with that turbo chem tank, so he's not really going to be in any danger of being 100-0. And look at the gold difference in the top side. It's basically 2,500. The entire gold lead is that top side.
It's just nutty right now, and this is why Xiaohu can take so many of these counter picks and work really well. Now there we go, Shelly moonwalking her way into this.
Shelly got moves, man. Shelly got style. I don't know what's happening with her right now. She is having a moment to herself.
Xiaohu and Wei are in trouble here.
I don't think they are, though, because the rest of RNG are here, so it's very difficult for LGD to really make anything happen. Yes, Gala was not there, but where are you going to get in from this?
And now, if you're LGD, how do you try and contest these dragons, right? RNG won't get a chance to reset, but they can push in this mid lane super far. They can rotate down towards boss. Like, it becomes really difficult to try and hold on to your mid lane as Garvey takes about half his health bar thanks to a friendly punch coming through from Wei, who's...
He can be run down. He could literally be run down here. He has his flash available to him, but I don't know if he wants to go for it. But now Wei's caught a little bit behind, but it's a split fight. Kramer takes a near full culling to the back of his head. And Xiaohu goes in aggressively, has to flash out immediately. Good shockwave again from Uniboy. Gets the kill down onto the top laner of RNG. But Wei's not done. Wei's been regenning. Wei has a red buff.
He's looking for Kramer, but they're gone now. Wei. Oh god, this is just messy.
This is not the cleanest League of Legends way, with no camps to take and to back himself away. But even with the pick that you've just gotten on the Xiaohu, he has got teleports, so he'll be back up in just over 10 seconds, and they can still contest for this Drake if they want to.
I mean, look, it's probably going to be gone already. RNG are there. Kramer only just coming out of base. And with Garvey taking such a beating as well and hasn't reset yet, they will just end up gifting this over. So that's 3 dragons uncontested for RNG. Very similar story to the last game. Very quick. And now we're looking at 23 minutes. And we can have RNG with Big Spike coming through with the Leandra's Anguish, with the Serrated Dirk, and also I'd imagine the Gale Force for Gala. And they can power through the strengths of this double AD carry comp.
Just gotta wait, I suppose. I don't think there's going to be much else happening apart from Xiaohu breaking Twitch's terms of use to be bullying in this top side. It's a bit crazy. But Xiaohu, like, he really does feel himself, and he does almost get Kramer, but he has to respect the damage that can come out from Uniboy.
But what do we say about Kramer at the start of the day, right? He just randomly takes these poor decisions with pathing, with where he's positioned, and although it did nest them a kill there because Xiaohu overextended, that was very close to Kramer just being completely burst out. RNG go towards Dragon, and you just end up in a situation where RNG just win outright. So we still need to see these things cleaned up by Kramer specifically, because when you go back to like 2018, Kramer looked amazing. He was considered one of the top AD carries we have, and right now he's sitting right the way down on my list when it comes to AD carries.
2018 was a very long time ago. That was 3 years ago at this stage, and you can definitely feel Kramer's influence waning quite a bit when you have the likes.
Aches and pains as they get older.
Oh yeah, oh stop, I know all about that. But yeah, like, I completely agree. It's like those kind of things, yes, they get a kill out of it, but they don't really gain anything else. It's a tiny little bit of gold, and they're still 4,000 gold behind. And Xiaohu is still on this Lucian with 2 items. He's got the Essence Reaver alongside the Gale Force, so he's never running out of mana. He's got Wei able to run around the map as quick as you like to keep him safe, to add into kind of, you know, an odd number skirmish. There's just options here for RNG, and with 3 minutes until that Infernal Soul, it's literally the perfect soul for them to get, because it gives them just, again, more options, more damage.
And it's also, when you look towards like the relative strength of the top side of the map for LGD, it's really fallen off. Garvey just doesn't have a completed item. He just isn't in a position. You can see as well, actually, Cryin punishing Uniboy, but
it's always sad when you're you're trying to go into a lane and you just get caught. There's nothing you can do. You've no real vision control. You've no semblance of actually owning your own jungle, and you can step too far forward, you will be killed.
Yeah, I want to take it back though and just say, like, look, Quay isn't really a strong point right now either on the map. He does have the Gore Drinker, but level down in the grand scheme of things. Olaf very much teetering out of existence. And now RNG with the pick onto Uniboy, who honestly has been the main source of damage for LGD. RNG will get Baron.
They'll get Baron at 20 minutes and 15 seconds. They do finish it off right there, and you can see Ming jumping straight in. He will die, so it's now a 4v4. Now 3v4 in favor of RNG, and you can see right now Gala perfectly positioned to try and keep himself safe, to keep himself putting out the DPS. Everybody goes down. The only one left is Uniboy, who previously died, and you got the Baron now at 20 minutes. What can you do, LGD?
Well, it looks like RNG are trying to dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge their way to this one, but LGD Uniboy keeping him in check, and they will back away. Baron in tow, and only losing a single member versus the 4 of LGD.
Yeah, this fight, this game, this series is all but over, I feel, right now. And RNG, they will have to do a lot of mistakes. There would have to be an absolute mountain landslide of it. You can see, like, I like this from LGD. They try, but Ming's just too on point these days.
Yeah, he really is. And I like the engage there from Ming as well, because it just buys time for RNG to take the Baron. He knows he's sacrificing his life. But again, once Gala gets delivery towards the back line, LGD don't have the numbers to try and keep the main source of damage, which is going to be Kramer, alive, and RNG win it out.
Honestly, go out in a blaze of glory right now, LGD. You got a dragon spawning in 1 minute's time. Fight at it. If you lose, awesome. If you win, you're back into the game somewhat. But with 7,000 gold behind, or 7,500 gold behind, and your 3 dragons stacking, and you just have no items on any of your big potential threats, it's a big if. Yeah. Like I said, it would require a lot of mistakes. But this is the LPL, the land of mistakes, or happy accidents.
I mean, look, are they mistakes if they work? I'm not the judge, although I should be because I'm an analyst. But
yeah, I was going to say, that's kind of your job. It's kind of your whole deal as the LGD. We're thinking of a bush trap.
Oh.
Kramer.
Do it, Gala. Do it.
No, it's suicide.
What a whip.
Yeah.
What a whip. Last game of the split. Come on.
Well, they'll take their other prize, which is going to be that tower. 7 seconds until the next dragon spawns, and RNG can just walk towards it. And even if they don't, they can totally take the fight anyway. You got triple buffs now for Xiaohu, red, blue, and purple. Garvey just puts down a little bit more pain into his own name. His health bar gets dripped down ever so slightly more. They are going to try and see if they can catch out Xiaohu, but I don't think you can catch him. He's too slippery, and now Infernal Soul's down. You'd have more damage, more burst, less options. LGD, just make a decision. It's just not going to work out for you at all. Now they finally do. They finally try to catch out Ming, but the culling comes out onto the Dominus of Garvey, and already 2 are dead. Third one almost there. Uniboy just about gets him out, but there's not going to be a penta for Way. It's going to be the triple here for Gala. And everybody's pretty much dying. Way tanking up as much as he possibly can. They haven't quite got the minion to go in there with the Baron buff just running out.
Penta for Garvey!
Yeah. Penta for the turret. As we finally see them knocking on the Nexus towers, they are going to be able to take these ones down pretty damn easily. Nothing that Garvey can do. And it's going to be LG. Go on, the lads. No more lads for you. And that's going to be the Nexus turrets falling. But the rest of LGD, these dead timers are still super short. You haven't quite gotten out of the woods just yet. LGD still have a little bit more pain to deal with. As you can see, the damage being put down by RNG. They will eventually take down the Nexus. LGD will fall 0-2. RNG will secure first place.
RNG fan. I was a big fan of this team as I came over to the LPL, so to see them now coming back to the success that, at least for me as a fan, going right the way back to 2013, it's really, really cool to see.
Yeah, honestly, it's exciting to have, and one of the biggest names in the LPL, like internationally as well, like the original Golden Road boys, the guys that everyone looked forward to, even if it was majority for Uzi, coming into international competitions, and they've set themselves up now where they're so damn close to being able to kind of represent the LPL again at MSI, which is honestly something at the start of the split. If you turn around and tell me like Xiaohu's transition to top side will give RNG such a massive edge over people, I just didn't see it, but now it's just coming to such great fruition.
Yeah, and I think that's the big one here is that we have seen that growth. We've seen Xiaohu really step into his own, and although we kind of memed it up thinking, hey, maybe we get this Viktor top, it's that flexibility that really does make you think, hang on a second.
We believed it.
Because we've seen the Syndras, the Oriannas in that top side. We've seen him go towards the Nars, the Jaces, the Lucians, having, he has gone towards the tanks, but certainly he's found his home on these more split push, side lane, carry-orientated champions. And we saw it in this game, once again, Xiaohu, he gets his hands on the Lucian, he steps up big time, gets some help from Wade, suddenly he's solo killing Garvey, and he's just ripping apart this game.
Yeah, the big test, though, of course, when we get to best of fives is kind of, we look at the top lane caliber that we look in towards playoffs and stuff like that, and like, some of the best top laners, even on teams that aren't really doing exceptionally well, are still solid. And that's where we're kind of seeing where Xiaohu lines himself with other top laners. If he can perform like that against someone like Zoom, 369, maybe even Flandre, then I start to kind of go like, okay, cool. He is an S+ tier top laner. But right now, still a couple of mistakes coming in, very much over aggression, kind of not respecting certain things. Gave a couple of kills away to LGD, which I feel like will be far more punishing against other top laners.
Yeah, and I think certainly coming into playoffs, it's going to be another big step up for Xiaohu, because, I mean, when you look at the caliber of top laners that we have coming into playoffs, like between Zoom, 369, the Shy, like Zoom, 369, the Shy, Bin, Nuggery, like Flandre, we've like the list just goes on. It's just so incredibly strong, and I think this is where we'll start to see Xiaohu really start to go toe-to-toe with these guys when the chips are on the table, when playoffs, when it really matters. Now, it will be a little while before we see this RNG once again, of course, because they do make it to round 4. They will be in that more semi-finals, kind of double limb setting, but certainly it'll be exciting to see what RNG bring to the table.
Yeah, and it sets us up for a kind of an interesting kind of topic, I suppose, for our next series before we get to it. It's like, EDG now obviously locked into second because RNG are locked into first, but do EDG look to try and change up their style? We've seen them try a couple of different things. Did, again, similar to RNG, not really working out the best for it, but they're still top 2. They're still in the top 4. They're still, in terms of top 4 of the bracket, and they're still very much, available to kind of, try these different things out, even if it doesn't 100% work. But for LGD, it was a tough split.
Yeah.
I think it was a very, very long time where you weren't really sure what your full roster was. Of course, we mentioned it. Garvey had to sub into AD carry. Yeah. Can't blame him whatsoever. He had no other choice. And then, Kramer coming in, very lackluster. And this is kind of like, the question for me coming into summer is that, like, do we see them blow up? Do we see them kind of, look through, work around Uniboy? Do we see them look to try and maybe even, kind of like just get rid of Kramer altogether? There's a lot of questions around this roster because I've been left very wanting and from this squad. Yeah,
and I think that's the big thing here is what do you try and do? Because I honestly think Uniboy has talent. I mean,
I agree.
Especially when we saw him come in towards like PSG talent in Worlds, like working with River. He looks splendid. When we come in towards this as well, he seems to have some really good pop-off moments like we saw with the Orianna in Game 1. Like, this guy can be a big carry. He just needs the support there. And I think the Quay and Flora, for me, not really having that big impact in the jungle did hurt them quite a bit. And even though we saw like some creative pathing from Quay on the likes of Lily and stuff like this, they just haven't really synergized as well as I was hoping.
Yeah, honestly, it does feel back to the drawing board for LGD, and for LGD fans, of course, it is a little sad to know that you're in the bottom 4 of the teams, and that's you join an exclusive club. Rogue Warriors are there, OMG are there, E-Star are there, and but congratulations to GT. They jump up to 13th. Unlucky for some, but
I
not
think
for them.
That's the big thing is like the legacy and the fans that have stuck with LGD through thick and thin are going to be so upset with where this team has kind of come to.
Yeah.
When you look at like how strong they used to be, to find yourselves now like scraping the bottom of the barrel essentially coming into this, it's not a fun time.
No, especially when you look at like you just said, like the history that you have with this organization, but not only that, but like you kind of turned it around in 2020 where you got to the the World Championships. You were able to represent, maybe not to the highest of expectations, but you got there. Only a handful of teams get to do that from every region. So it just feels like even more of a gut punch when you come into this year. They've blown up the roster. Obviously, they've gotten rid of a lot of their key members and bringing in a lot of new ones working around Kramer. And it just didn't really work out. So we'll see what they're able to do for LGD. That is the last time we'll see them this side of Summer Split. We will look forward to see what kind of formation they take in the new split. But of course, we got plenty of League of Legends to go before we even think about that. And for RNG, you're top of the table. You're top dog right now, and it's just It's just honestly kind of comes down to some of the different players, and I think the big one I want to talk about is our MVP from the game 2 is going to be Wei, I believe is what my producer said. I do sometimes forget what he says. Yeah, I got it right. Wei, again, on this Udyr, was everywhere, able to make things going. It just worked.
Yeah, and it was the big one for me was getting this early lead for Xiaohu. I mean, you look at it like 44.4% kill participation, but it was not the quantity, it was the quality of the kills he was involved in. And because he was able to get these early plays for Xiaohu, get this ball rolling for the Lucian, who was getting a lot of attention from Chance and from the entirety of LGD, Wei was the pivotal point of this game that just set that snowball in motion.
That's his 10th MVP.
Yeah.
That's a lot of MVPs for a man. You know, it's... Yes, we play best of 3. We play a lot of best of 3s. Fun fact, actually, we play less best of 3s than LCK. We just have more teams, so it feels like we have a lot more. But again, like you said, the quality of the kills that he was able to get off, or the quality of the engagements he was able to make happen, just made this so much better for the side of RNG.
Exactly, and I think that's the big one here for Wei. Again, like, Wei has gone from being this, level 2, level 3 heavy dive focus towards bot side for E-Star into a jungler that's to be reckoned with, and honestly my favorite jungler in the LPL right now. I think he does so much work for RNG, working so well with Ming. And as we can see, like, it's not so much about how much he can carry, like step up, like, but we can see him take to the likes of Udyr, play very smart around the map, facilitating his team. And then when we do get more so towards these carries, like the Lillian, this kind of stuff, he works again so well with Ming. Some of the greatest engages that we've seen in the LPL this split on Lilia have come from Wei.
Yeah, honestly, it feels like he's, as you said, diversified and made his kind of role within a team a lot more useful, I suppose. A lot more kind of flexible is probably a better word to use it. And that style of jungling is just going to help RNG and has helped RNG to the status that they have right now, like to the fact that they are, sitting atop the table waiting for playoffs to kind of come for them, and they get to just soak up all the information from the mini metas you get all the way up to the way until they actually start to play.
Yeah, and look, I love it. I think it's great to see RNG really coming back into things, and as you said, like, I don't think we're going to see a huge amount of difference from them. We can see, look, the not playing around topside doesn't work very well for them. I think they will stick with this style, and when we do get to playoffs, it'll be a case of how well can they play this style against their other top teams in the LPL.
Well, we have Wendy standing by.